I just want to thank everybody for being here this afternoon. Again, to honor and remember, those who fought to defend this great country. So, my name's Mark Conley. I'm a member of the Lions Club here in town, and someone who's had the privilege of, helping in a small way to put this ceremony and put this donation drive together. So, we have a very small, short, but important ceremony for you here this afternoon. I was going to introduce a member of the KP band who unfortunately won't be here, but we're going to improvise for that. But we have Norfolk board member Anita Mecklenburg, who'll be up here in a minute, and Commander John Benda from the U.S. Navy, who's been nice enough to be here for us as well. So I'll have him do most of the driving because you guys don't want to hear from me all that long. But then we'll wrap up at the back end with the special dedication ceremony with John, as well as a proud financial presentation here as well for the Fisher House in Boston. So with that, I'll turn it over to Anita and we'll get started.
I planned a 2-hour speech, so I'll have to cut it back a little bit. I'm going to turn a little bit. So many good things happened this week. Someone acted as a crossing guard for a mother turtle on her way back to the water. Someone made a donation to our food pantry. Someone picked up trash along the road. Someone planted a garden. A business owner planted a fundraiser for a friend in need. And the select board had a special meeting just to get the license approved in time. And generations came together to make today's event possible. Here today, we take this time to appreciate our comforts and freedom and to honor the courageous men and women who sacrificed their future for ours. Soldiers who died far away from their loved ones, who never again held babies, played catch with their children, or hugged husbands, wives, mothers, fathers. There's no greater sacrifice. They died for our country, for us, so we could be safe and free. We know that with sacrifice comes responsibility, and with great sacrifice comes great responsibility. The photos on Facebook beautifully captured the teamwork and math necessary to create this impressive memorial. The young and the not as young worked together and laughed together to make this possible. This teamwork beautifully reminds our small town of sacrifices made and continues the important work of supporting our veterans and their families. Thank you to Mark and the Norfolk Lions, the folks at Fisher House, and the King Philip Leo Club, who already recognize that your role in making the world better. Our country will be as great or as small as we are. This week, this team leaned into their great responsibility and made the country and Norfolk a better place. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Commander John Benda.
Greetings, everyone. Commander John Benda, United States Navy. Good to be back. Thank you for inviting me to your Memorial Day remembrance, this sacred moment where we stand together to honor those who sacrificed everything for us, their families, friends, and our country. I'd like to thank Selectman Mecklenburg, Paul Terrio, Mark Conley, and the Lions Club, also our police, first responders, and any commanders or members of our veteran service organizations here today. This is actually the third time that I've been involved in events here in Norfolk. Once was the Memorial Day ceremony just a few years ago. Once was the 150th anniversary town parade, and I got to ride around town in a Ferrari. Thank you, Chris Weeder. That was pretty sweet. And now I'm back again. I've been over in Holliston for the past 7 years, but I love this town and how supportive it is to our nation's uniformed service members like myself, and how generous you've been to the sailors that have worked for me. My current position is I'm a teacher at Navy Leadership and Ethics Command down in Newport, Rhode Island, where we provide education to all Navy leaders, but particularly prospective commanding officers, to enhance self-awareness and further develop their personal capabilities for making sound ethical decisions prior to their assignment to mostly senior command positions. That should make you feel really good. With all of the issues that have happened within the ranks over the last few years, embarrassing stuff, to tell you the truth, that you may have seen in the news, we, naval officers, need to hold ourselves to a higher ethical standard, to be conscientious warfighters and moralistic naval officers, good representatives of the soldiers, sailors, airmen that are not here right now. Being just respectable examples to our most junior sailors, our next leaders, is okay, but the American people expect and deserve better. Leaders with special authorities and given special benefits that are beyond reproach. And the Navy is expending crucial resources to make sure that happens. It's a lot of interesting subject matter and a lot of fun to do what I do right now. However, it is not as much fun as the job that I previously had. I had the honor of being the 76th commanding officer of the oldest commissioned warship afloat in the world, USS Constitution, more affectionately known as Old Ironsides. Man, how I missed that old-timey uniform. She earned that nickname, Old Ironsides, on August 19, 1812, in a battle versus HMS Guerriere for the first naval victory of the War of 1812 against the British, the new United States' second war for independence. All told, she saw action in 33 naval battles, came out victorious 33 times, 0 defeats. I like to say undefeated. But of course, that did not come without a steep cost. As a quote-unquote museum ship, we let people on board every day to what is hallowed ground, a battlefield where many men spilt blood on those decks and gave their life for their country and each other. Over 200 souls on that wood. 15,000 total Americans died in the War of 1812. Our mission was to preserve the ship and preserve the legacy of those men. I am proud to say that if you didn't see in the news, I turned over command of that ship in January to the 77th commanding officer, Commander B.J. Farrell, Constitution's first female commanding officer in her 225 years, and she is most definitely the right person to carry on that mission for us and for our nation. What made Constitution truly special for me was the active duty crew assigned to me, an impressive group of 90 sailors strong. 50% of our crew came right out of boot camp. The other 50% are fleet returnees, having been deployed overseas in ships and squadrons for months at a time. And those type of sacrifices have consequences for our families. We need help sometimes. One of the best things that happened to me personally my entire time stationed on Old Ironsides was the opportunity to build a relationship with a fantastic organization called the Fisher House of Boston, and the work I did with my very good friend, Norfolk's own Jennifer DeLuca, Executive Director. Fisher House's mission is to serve those who served, to provide a home away from home where military families can stay cost-free while their loved one is receiving in-house treatment at any of the world-renowned medical centers in Boston or the VA Center in West Roxbury, which is 4 blocks from where I grew up in Dedham. We provided over 2,500 nights of lodging last year, and we'll do more this year. We received 4 stars, an A+ rating on Charity Watch, with 91% of all the money that comes in goes right out to support our veterans in need. I've had crew members use the program. I've had peers of my rank use the program. Knowing that there are organizations out there like this back home and people like Jen taking care of us and our families in time of need is extremely comforting. And it is as critical to defending our freedom and our way of life as all the big gray ships and all the squadrons out there overseas right now. The missions are intertwined. And I keep saying we for a reason, because I am here representing Fisher House today, delighted to be a board member of the organization that I have a passion for and will be for a long time to come. Thank you so much to the people of Norfolk for generating the funds with purchasing the flags that are represented here today that will be donated to the Fisher House. I'd like to ask Jen to come up, and there will be a quick check presenting ceremony.
Great. Thank you, John. So I'm so happy to do this next thing, and we'll do it out here, Jen. But just so folks know, I just can't. I want to sincerely thank not just the Lions, but the businesses and the individuals and the citizens of Norfolk for what was really an overwhelming response. financially to be able to do what we're about ready to do. So. So we have one of these nice big phony checks, but we have a real one for her too. So we'll get out. Excuse me. We'll get out here for the photo op. But again, because of everyone's collective generosity, we're just very happy and proud to present Jen and the Fisher House with a check for $11,000.
You know, I just want to say really quickly, you have no idea what this means. Tonight we have over 50 families in Boston hospitals. Some have been there for 2 days and some have been there for 9 months. And oftentimes I say to people, it's easy to go up and say thank you for your service and shake their hand. But do you ever think about what happens after you walk away? They have families that they cannot just run to when they are ill. They have all different things, but their first responsibility is to the service they raise their hand for. So for me, I say I'm in the blessings business because I truly get to take care of what I feel are our greatest national treasures, who serve this country in their time of need. And I couldn't do it if it wasn't for groups and towns and people like this to support me in doing what I do. So when I say thank you, I mean from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you do for those that serve this great nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Jen's well connected, as you probably know. Jen always gets great speakers to come to our Fisher House events. Usually it's a Navy SEAL, and I think I'm a pretty okay speaker, but it's really hard to tell as riveting a story as a Navy SEAL can. But this week in particular, I was thinking that there probably should be a naval aviator here, as there just happens to be a film that came out this week. You may have heard about it, Top Gun 2. Anyone see it yet? Anyone see it? Any naval aviators? The ladies are back with Top Gun 2, and I can't wait to see it. However, there's actually, really soon after Top Gun 2, another movie coming out about naval aviation that cuts a little bit closer to home. And that movie is going to be called Devotion. And if you're not familiar, it's the story of the late, great Captain Thomas Hudner, a son of Massachusetts, Medal of Honor recipient. If you don't know the story, crash-landed his aircraft in the mountains of Korea to attempt to save his fallen wingman, Ensign Jesse Brown, America's first African-American fighter pilot. Ensign Brown did not make it home. If there's a more heartwarming, gut-wrenching American story to be told, I don't know it. I cannot wait to see that film and see that story come back to life. Today, Memorial Day, is about Ensign Jesse Brown. Today is not about the veterans here, the active duty on Constitution, or across the Navy, and it's most certainly not about me. It is about the service members that are not here, that paid with their life our bill of freedom. Too many to count, represented here today only by all of these flags, which is a truly beautiful sight. We're here to honor and remember the thousands of men and women who died defending our country and going out and stopping tyranny around the world. Memorial Day really started all the way back in the Civil War. Sadly, since then, we have seen the numbers of the fallen grow and grow because of too many wars. World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Iraqi enduring freedom. In all conflicts, no matter what we choose to call it, Americans have died for the cause. Before the ceremony, I went up to check out the memorials up there on the hill, and I couldn't help but notice on the World War II plaque the many multiple last names of the Whites, the Woods, the Pearsons, the Ravinskys, the Scammons. There are 3 Curtises, which clearly indicates multiple siblings, all dying for the cause. Another great organization I worked for extensively in my time at Old Ironsides was the Vietnam War Commemoration. And for the last few years and the next few more, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of that conflict and the service members that did serve and are with us, but also remembering those that didn't make it back. More than 2,000 soldiers, sailors, airmen remain missing in action from the Vietnam War. The Department of Defense POW Missing Personnel Office continues its search for the missing in all corners of the world. There are still more than 8,000 missing from the Korean War. So let us particularly remember them today. I won't ask anyone to stand, but please do if you'd like to be recognized. If there may be a Gold Star family member in the audience here. So many wives, mothers, husbands, fathers, children, lost loved ones in Iraq and Afghanistan. Most of us, hopefully, will never have to understand what that pain is like. It is our responsibility as citizens to remember their family members, especially today, but not just today, every single day, by how we live our life honorably, being good neighbors, good brothers and sisters, and good community members. So on behalf of all of the United States Navy and anyone that's in uniform, thank you to the town of Norfolk for keeping their spirit alive so impressively. The spirit of 405,399 who died in World War II, for the 36,574 who died in the Korean War, for the 58,220 who died in the Vietnam War, for the 1,948 who died in Desert Storm, for the 6,929 who died in the global war on terror in Iraq and Afghanistan, and for the way too many that have died this year and lost their fight to the invisible wounds of war, of suicide. We remember you too. So again, thank you for inviting me to be part of this ceremony. God bless those that are deployed around the world in harm's way right now, providing us the opportunity to enjoy this beautiful day together in Norfolk. Huzzah. To culminate today's ceremony, please join me in a moment of silence as I make my way to the front of the flags, and we will culminate with the playing of taps.
Thank you again, everybody, for being here, and have a great rest of the weekend.